Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. So today I'm coming with another video in a Python, and that's a program I'm doing here. I will show to you using OOPS concept. So let me open the Visual Studio Code. Let me hide it, and here you can see that this is a program in which I have uses OOPS concept. Okay, so in previous video, if you have seen the concept of OOPS, I have shown you a program using class, and I have explained what is object and what are there in class. So here is another one program which will do a student management one. So what I am doing here I have defined the main function, and here I am creating the constructor. So here I have declared, you can see, one student class, one student management class. In student class I have defined one constructor, as I have told that we have to use this one to init for creating constructor in Python, and the name of the constructor shouldn't be, can be different than the name of the class also. And here we have to give the self parameter because it's mandatory. Whatever method you write, you have to give the parameter self, and self is the instance of the class. And what is instance? That is the object. Okay, and you know that here I am passing one name and another grade parameter. So name I am assigning it to this instance variable, and grade I am passing to this another instance variable. Another function I have declared here. So this is a update grade 1, and here I have uses another function, that is, this is a special method which will return a formatted string. That is, the name of the student and the grade will be in the formatted string format. In student management class I have declared one constructor, and here inside the constructor I have declared a list. You have to remember that using third bracket it's indicate list, and if you give, suppose, this type of bracket, that is a first bracket, then it shows a tuple. Okay, so inside, so another program I have function, that is add student, and here I have given the name grade. That is, what if the user wants to add student to this list, then the user will give it. So let me show you in a practical way what is the logic going behind. Okay, so here is the menu. Inside menu we are telling that if the user give a choice 1, then it will add new student. If it gives 2, it will update student grade. If it's give 3, then it will display all student. If it's give 4, it will find the student by name. And if it gives 5, it will calculate the class average, that is, it will calculate the grades of the student and it will return it. And if the user gives 6, it will exit from the program. And inside this main function, what we are doing, we are creating the initializing the object using the class student management. Inside it we are using a while loop, and we are just calling the main menu function, that is this function. Upon calling, we are asking to enter the choice between 1 to 6. So whatever the choice will give, suppose the user has given a choice 1. So we have to remember that in Python, by default, if we don't mention any data type, it takes in string format. So that's why we are in inverted comma, we are using 1. So if the choice is equals to 1, then it will ask from the user to enter the student name. Then we are using a try except concept. Inside try, what we are doing, we are asking the user, you can see in line number 82, we are asking to enter the student grade between 0 to 100, and it can be also a float value because beside integer, that means we are telling that we have to give the student grade between 0 to 100, and it can be a float value, that is whatever the grade this user will give, it will take it float data type. Then we are assigning it to grade variable. Upon assigning, what we are doing, we are just calling the add student function, and we are passing name and grade, that is the name of the student which the user has given and the grade which is in float data type. So upon calling the add function, let us go to the add function. So here is the add student function, and it is declared in the class student management. Okay, so what we are doing in add students, we are passing this parameter name and grade. Inside this function, we are checking if the grade is valid or not. So for that, we are calling the validate grade function. So where is this validate grade function? See, line number 8 I have given, that is a static method, because validate grade, whenever we are starting any name of the method. Okay, one thing I have done a mistake here, that inside class, whenever you will declare any function, it should be called method. Okay, so inside this dev method, so whenever we are starting any name of the method with underscore, it becomes a private method. So it's checking whether the grade is between 0 to 100, that is it's validating whether the grade which the user has given in float data type, whether it is between 0 to 100. So upon validating it, it's coming here, and if it's satisfying, then what it is doing in line number 19, it is creating a student object you upon calling the constructor. Okay, so student class, so constructor is called, we know that whenever we create the object, automatically the constructor is called. So upon calling the constructor, that is we know the constructor, what it does is initializes the object. So the name and grades using the constructor, upon calling it, we are class constructor, you see here inside student we have declared one class constructor. So it's creating this, initializing the student. So now student object is having the name and the grade, and we are just using the append ilmin function of the Python. We are simply just appending it, means just adding it to the students list. And where do we have declared the student list? You see here I have declared the student list. So student list will hold all the student object with the name and grade. Upon adding, it will print the statement that is added, the name, suppose John, with grade, suppose example 90, or else it will print that invalid grade, please enter a number between 0 to 100. So this is, if the user gives choice 1, then it will do this logic. Now if the user, and in the accept, what we are doing, that you have to enter a valid grade. If the user gives choice to, what it will do, it will give, tell, let me see what is there, update the student grade. So for updating the student grade, the user have to give the name of the student which is present in the student list. So when the user is giving it input, as an input, the name of the student, it is storing, initialize, assigning it to the name of this. And inside it, we are using a try except one. we are entering the new grade that is between 0 to 100, and it's a float data type, and we are just assigning it to a new variable. Upon assigning, again we are calling the update student grade function, and we are passing the name of the student, that is the name of the student present in the student list whose grade have to get updated with this new grade which the user is giving. So let us go, upon calling the function, let us go to the update function. So here is the update student grade function. So upon calling the function, what we are doing? We are calling the find student function. So where is this find student? Because see, when the user is calling this function update student grade, upon calling it will check whether the name of the student which the user has given, whether the student exists in the list or not. If the student doesn't exist in the list, then how I can update his grade now? So I have to check whether the student is there or not in the student list. So for that I have used another function, that is find student, and inside it I am passing the name parameter. So where is this find student? See, in line number 44 there is find student function method. So upon calling this method and passing the name of the student, it's checking. I am using here one for loop for student in self dot students. That is, this line tells that for it will check for every student, that is every student object present in students list, whether if the student name is present or not. So upon iterating every student object, it will check that it is present or not. So here inside for loop I am using one if statement. You can see if student dot name dot lower, we are using an equality operator, checking with the name of the student which the user has given as a input dot lower. Why we are using dot lower function? To make it case insensitive, that is whether the user give the name of the student in uppercase or lowercase, it will not affect the logic of the program. That means it will, so whatever the uppercase or lowercase it give, it will convert the name, that is the alphabet, in lowercase, so it becomes a case insensitive. Upon checking the whether the student object, so it will check for every student object in the student list whether the student object, that is the student object name, matches with the name which the user has provided, whose grade I have to update. If it matches, then it will return the student, that means yes, the student object is present, or it will return none. So when it matches the name of the student, it will come here, and if student, now I have got the student, that means which the user has given the name of the student is matches with the student object present in the student list. Now I will do what? If student is present, yes it's present, suppose we are assuming yes it's present, then it's checking inside if decision another condition, that is the validate grade. So now it will check the grade which the user has given, the new grade, whether this is a validate grade or not. So I have to do again the validate. I'm calling again the validate grade method and checking whether the grade is valid or not, that is between 0 to 100 or not. If it's, then it will call the upgrade function. So now let me see where is this update grade function. See, here is this update grade function. So when getting this new grade, it is assigning it to the new grade to the original grade. So now the grade which was present, it will be updated with the new grade. Now it will print the statement, that is the updated the name of the student grades to the new grade. Else it will show that is the number is not a valid, that is the grade is not a valid. And if the student is not present, then automatically it will not go inside this if else decision making. It will come to the else block and it will show that the student, that is name of the student, not found. Clear? Now the we are calling the display all student. So when upon getting this choice 3 display student, it was simply called the display student method. So there is a display student method. So it will iterate and it will print all the students and their grade. That is for student object in list, it will print the student, else no student to display. Now let's go to another one, that is a choice 4. What is there in choice 4? Is there to find student by name. That is the same logic we are using, that is here we are just taking the name of the student as an input, we are assigning it to the name variable, then we are calling the find student method as I have explained. Now only we are just calling it, we will check whether the student is present or not. If present, then it will check whether the grade is valid or not. Here you see find student method. So it will check for every student object in the student list. It will, you are using case sensitive as I have just now told, so that whether it is given in uppercase or lowercase, it will not affect because we are converting it in lowercase only. So for if the student's object which is present in the student list, whose name in lowercase should be equals to, we are using equality operator to the name of the student which the user is giving as the input, converting it in lowercase. Okay, and if it match, it returns the student or else it return none. And again, let's see the fifth of choice, that is we have to calculate the class average. So for calculating, we are calling the calculate average grade. So here is coming the calculate average grade method. Here we are doing that if the self dot student iterating over to the list and checking that. See here I have used the list comprehension concept, that is for every student object in student list, I am just extracting the grade, making it as a list, and I am just using the inbuilt function of Python, that is sum, which will take a list as an iterable one, because list we know it is an iterable one. So it will iterable over to the list grade and then it will sum it and initialize assign it to the total grade variable. So upon getting the total grade, we are just dividing it with the length of the student list. It will give us the average and then we are printing it to the average. Or else what we will do, that there are no student in the list. If there is, first we are checking if there are student in the list, then we will do addition by using the list comprehension technique. Upon getting addition, we are just dividing it with the length of the student list. We will get the average, or else it will show that there are no student in the list. If there are no student, how I will calculate the average? Simple. And if the user gives the choice 6, it will simply just exist from the program. Okay. So it's a little bit a complex one. I will not tell, it's a very simple one. So you can go through over the video if you have any problem, or you can ask me in the doubt session. I will try to resolve your doubt and go through it. It's a very good concept in OPS. It will clear all your concept in OPS. uh, and I have here used the abstraction and encapsulation concept also. Hope you like this video, and bye bye. Stay tuned to the next video. Have a great day. Bye.